Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. My special guest today, Astrid Young. We're listening to her music. We just came in right now. Let me tell you what we were listening to. What you're listening to right now. It's called Try This. I liked it so much, I broke it up into two versions so far on this episode. Try This. And welcome back, Astrid. So nice to have you here today.
Yeah.
Fun to talk music with you and all good things like that. Uh, you were going to say on the song that we went out with, you wanted to mention on the song "Why Run When You Can Hide."
Oh yeah.
A special note.
Uh Jane Weedland actually played guitar on that, and a little well, Joe Gore played guitar on it, but Jane played rhythm guitar and sang backup on that track. It's quite
There's some
fun.
amazing musicians and people that are involved in this
Yeah.
project. It's an
Yeah.
album. Made some
Well, we
beautiful
got
music
lucky. We
together.
were actually recording in Jane's studio, so there was a kind of constant stream of people dropping by, and we
Yeah,
can pick some of them to play on it.
it's rock and roll.
Yeah.
So, what was that commitment that you made to your muse a long time ago?
Uh, just to
Do you
follow it, you know?
follow it?
I mean, honestly, I think you have a responsibility to do that. If an idea strikes you, an you have a responsibility to follow that up as an artist. And I think a lot of musicians or creative people can attest to the fact that a lot of times you have a great idea and then you'll think, oh, I'll remember it, So you don't like, I had a dream the other night. I had a dream
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, fully formed song in the dream. And I woke up and I woke up humming it and I'm going, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to remember that. 2 hours later, gone. And,
Fine.
you know, it's like, and I feel like I lost something there. And I
How do
feel
you
that
capture that next time? You stop and
you
you,
just jump on it. You don't get lazy. I
yeah,
mean, jump on the
is it,
piano, work it out, like hit your voice memo and get it out there. I think if you are lucky enough to have that kind of inspiration come to you from the universe, whatever your muse is, you really have a responsibility to follow that up because it's a gift. It's an
mm.
absolute gift. Share
Well,
it
you
with
said,
the
well, thank you for what you do share with the world, what you have captured from your
Thank
music,
you.
from your creativity or the universe, whatever that is. Um, that sounds so simple, just follow what the muse gives you. But is it a hard road sometimes? Is it a hard journey? Or is it as simple as that, that you just have to
Um,
be in tune and be aware and receive it and
I
then
think it
follow it?
I think it can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. It can be as simple as just doing that, but it's really easy to get caught up in the end result or whatever you think that should be, because there are so many expectations and the music business is just such uh, it's so murky right now and it's so not good for musicians. It's not good for musicians, it's not good for creativity. So if you get caught up in that cycle, whatever you're focused on, whether it's the old model, the new model, you're focused on streaming or your socials or stuff like that, that's not creativity, that's not music. That is something that may never happen and it may not be good for you either. And I think that if it's possible to just focus on the music, and that's a luxury that many, especially gigging musicians, you don't have, right? You have to take the jobs when they come. Sometimes you have to take jobs that you don't want to take just because you got to put food on the table and things like that. And so it's all well and good to say, oh yeah, art is the thing, and there's nothing else that you should give any credence to. But to keep it in focus, I mean, there's been many times in my life when I've just absolutely had to turn it all off. And, there was times when I didn't write, I didn't play, I didn't want to do anything, I didn't record, I had no impetus to do anything musical, and I was It's because things had happened in my career that it's just such a kick to the gut. And you think you're doing great, and then all of a sudden the rug gets ripped out from you. I mean, you can be on top of the world one day and it can be all gone the next day. I think, you should just like enjoy it while it lasts kind of thing. But don't blame the music. The music is the thing, and the music is what's going to give you the most joy. It will never betray you. Music will never betray you. It's the rest of the shit. And there's so many people out there waiting to take what measly dollars that musicians make, whether it's like the streaming platforms or the record labels or things like Reverb Nation or Music X-Ray or all these other sites that they just promise you the world, and they say all the things that these naive musicians want to hear. And if I pay them like $20 a month of a subscription fee, then I'm going to be able to get my songs in front of these people. But when there's like 8 million people doing the same thing, is like, what chance do you have? You might as well go buy a lottery ticket, right? But if you just focus on the music and focus on feeding your soul, I
So
think at least then you won't be disappointed.
yeah, God, there are so many, it's such an uphill thing, isn't there? There's so many obstacles, challenges. So why do it?
Yeah. Well, you do it because it's who you are, right? And and I don't know. I mean, things come along and opportunities come along, and you take it or you don't take it. I got a pretty good radar about things that I don't want to do. I think life is just a kind of a long progression of figuring out what you don't want to do as opposed to what you do want to do. And we were talking earlier about, glad this came together at the last minute. But it's like I think that's metaphoric too, because if you just keep an open mind and don't be too focused on the end result, cool things will happen.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. And you never, oh God, I was just talking to Alan D. Rich. He's a songwriter. He did, Whitney Houston and a bunch of Whitney Houston songs and Barbara Streisand and but great career, Barry Manilow. And he said every time I thought we're gonna get an Oscar for this one, or everybody told me it was gonna go this way, it went that way. But it actually, when it went the other direction, turned out even better than it would have if we would have. So you can't predict, especially in this business. But
Yeah.
coming from myself, I can't do what you do. So it's a gift that you have and that I enjoy and so many others enjoy. And I
But
thank you
you're
for
a
that
music
because
lover, and I think that's at least as important as the music itself, because God knows if everybody was a musician, then we'd all be just standing around judging
yeah,
each other, right?
even more challenging to get your song heard on Spotify. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mm.
thank God I can't sing. Okay, we have to take another break. That one really quickly. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna listen to. We're going to break right now with Lay Me Down. Is it Borrowed Tune? Is that all part of the title?
It was originally called Borrow Tune.
Okay,
And
Lay Me Down.
Eddie thought I should change the name of the song, and who am I to argue with Eddie Kramer, right? So,
Just
so we
go with
changed
that
it to
one.
Lay Me Down. So there you go.
Astrid Young. She's my special guest today. She's a singer and a songwriter, pianist, plays the bass guitar, 12-string guitar, probably plays other instruments that I'm not aware of. The new vinyl edition of One Night at Giant Rock is coming out this May, hopefully,
Mhm.
and this spring. You can go to Spotify to get the full album now, One Night at Giant Rock, and there's a link to the full album. Um, and yeah, again, in spring 2024. Go to her website, astridyoung.net, and all her socials are there. Start following and keeping up to date with what's going on, and you'll be alerted when that album comes out. You can also pre-order it. On Instagram, follow her at Wanda Plez, WandaPlez, and we will be right back. Again, Lay Me Down.